Welcome, everyone. My name is Gordon Friesen. I am president of the Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. Today we are holding a press conference in support of Bill 218, advanced by member Tamara Jansen, to reverse permission of euthanasia for mental illness alone, now set to begin in 2027. Someone who has thought deeply about mental trauma and euthanasia, combat veteran, CEO, and mental health expert, Gunner Kelsey Sharon.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey Sharon, and when I was 18 years old, I decided to put the uniform on. I understood that I might die for my country, but what I didn't understand was that day, or one day, my own government would quietly offer to help me do it. I'm here today as a Canadian combat veteran. I live with post-traumatic stress disorder, a traumatic brain injury, major depressive disorder, and according to the doctors, treatment-resistant depression, along with hearing loss. That weight never really leaves. I am 100% disabled, even if I don't look like it. I've seen what war does, not just overseas, but long after you come home. And what I'm seeing now is something I never thought possible in Canada. Behind closed doors, in quiet conversations, veterans are being offered MAID, medical assistance in dying. Not therapy, not recovery, not support, and not death, and not help, but death. And today, Senator Pamela Wallin is hosting a backdoor closed meeting with the pro-death cult Dying with Dignity. She's helping them lobby to convince more MPs that they should vote to kill more of the vulnerable, disabled Canadians starting in 2027. See, we're told this is compassion and we're told it's choice. But when somebody's drowning in trauma and desperation, that's not a choice. That's coercion wearing a polite face. I've spoken with veterans who have reached out for help and asked for therapy, for hope, for treatment, and what they got instead was an offer to end their life. I've spoken to more veterans now, and the whistleblowers just keep coming. This is not one or two. This is well documented, over 20 and growing by the day. I know this because I report on it daily, and people seem to trust me with their stories. Imagine how deep that hopelessness must go. When your own country looks at you and decides that death is the very best it can offer. This isn't hypothetical anymore. This isn't some dystopian book. This is the reality in Canada, and it's happening. And it's not just happening to veterans. People with disabilities like myself and others, with chronic pain, with depression, bad breakups, loss, poverty, they're all being told the same thing. You should give up and die. They're being nudged towards death because supporting them is seen as too expensive and inconvenient. This is the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. This is not compassion, especially when death is offered instead of care. This is a moral rot disguised as mercy, and this government is full of it. And while this is all happening, Canada still refuses to give veterans access to treatments that could actually save their lives. For example, like psychedelic-assisted therapy. Yes, controversial, but evidence-based, safe, and effective, used and studied around the world to treat PTSD and trauma. I know this because I am the only recipient in Canadian medical history to have access to regulated psilocybin outside of a clinical trial. I am living proof that it works. So we're told no, we're told to quietly suffer, or worse, we're told to die with dignity. That's not dignity, that's policy-driven despair. Driven by sick people to hurt more. That's not healthcare, it's called surrender. And it sends a clear message, your life costs too much money. Veterans are dying, people with disabilities are dying, not because they want too much, but because they've become convinced their lives no longer matter by an entire healthcare system, lobbying groups, and frankly, this government. Canada doesn't even track veteran suicides. And I know this because today I'm testifying to just that. Think about that. We send people to war, and when they come home broken, we stop counting you. See, it's a lot easier to face the truth when you refuse to measure it. This is a government choosing death over duty every single day. Veterans and civilians don't need MAID. We need meaning. We need community. We need real treatment. We need a country that still believes that we are worth saving. So let's stop calling this choice because it's not. And let's start calling it what it is, survival, if you're lucky. This isn't about dying with dignity. That's an oxymoron at best. Giving up and quitting when life gets hard. And trust me, I know what it feels like when life gets hard. It's about living a life with real dignity, and rolling back the expansion is the only way forward to do that. And I believe that we can do that with this bill. Thank you.